What's up, my friend? Welcome back to another video. So today I just really wanted to quickly run over 3 online business mistakes to avoid. And yeah, if you avoid all 3 of these will really help you get that firm foundation in your online business. You'll stay calm and collected. You'll understand what you're doing each step of the way. And I think it will just give you a nice solid mindset to continue on for the long term. So the first thing I wanted to touch on was to not build a product without validating your idea first. So you could have 0 people on your email list, or you could have 1 million people on your email list. If you build a product for those people that they don't want, you're not going to convert. You're not going to sell, right? It just makes sense. Like if my niche is in creating music, which it is, and then I build a course for them on how to hit the perfect forehand in tennis, maybe one person will buy if that person happens to like tennis like me. But most people are not going to buy something that they don't want. And this is a mistake a lot of people make, and they get discouraged because they release a course that they didn't research. They just built it because they really enjoy it. Then they release it to the public and they wonder why people don't buy it. And it's literally because no one actually wants it, you know? And so they didn't validate their idea. So how can you actually validate your idea, right? I think a really effective way, especially if you have an audience or people you have in your network, is to reach out to those people and ask a couple specific questions. The first one could be, are you struggling in this area, and what are you frustrated about in this niche or this area? So for example, if we're talking about music, what are you frustrated about in your compositions or creating music? What are those frustrations, and what keeps you up at night? So here you're looking for those complaints, those desperations, those cries of help, where people are really expressing what they're struggling with. And this gives you not just product ideas, but even content ideas for your free material, right? Blogs, podcasts, and YouTube. You can immediately help those people, and that will build that relationship with them, which may convert them to paid customers in the future for your paid material, your courses and memberships. So that's the first question. The second question would be, what would be your hope and your dream in relation to that topic? So now we're looking at the opposite side. Instead of talking about the negative, now we're talking about the positive, the aspiration, right? So what is your hope and dream in relation to composing music or orchestrating your music? Maybe they'll say things like, oh, I just want to release music that I'm proud of, that my friends and my family appreciate. It sounds like it's been recorded professionally with live musicians, things like that, right? So when you get that negative and that extreme positive, you can combine those together in understanding what your people are really looking for and what they're struggling with, which will then give you some better ideas for your content and, again, your products. If you don't get any responses, then that just means people are not interested, or maybe your circle of influence isn't big enough. So that's why creating content and on a consistent basis is so important, to build that audience and build that network of people to communicate with, right? So ultimately, do not build a product without validating it first. So anytime I build a new product nowadays, I always send out a survey to my email list. And I say, literally, if I were to build X course or X product on X topic, for example, if I were to build a course on how to master your virtual orchestrations using sample libraries, right? Would you be interested in that sort of thing? And what would I have to cover? And because my email list at the time of this recording is around 9,000 people, I usually get around 200 responses, which is a plenty of feedback to kind of take a look at and see where people are struggling and how I can help them. And I literally use that copy, those words, on my sales page, in my course, everywhere, because this is literally what people have mentioned with their own words, right? So it makes it really feel like I know them, I understand them, and I'm building something specifically to solve that specific problem. And that's really, really important, okay? So number 1, do not build a product without validating it first. Number 2 is not to be too general. I think we've all heard this before. I think it's the riches are in the niches, right? So basically, the point of that is the more niche you become, the more specific your audience is, or your target niche, the more people will convert, and the more high quality people will convert to your paid material. Simply because if you become too general, then you're trying to become something for everyone, but then you're nothing to specific people, So for example, if I'm in the music niche, my niche could be all about how to write music. How boring is that? Like, there are plenty of people teaching you how to write music. But if I say my niche is how to write orchestral music in the style of Disney, okay, well, that's a lot more specific. And that actually is part of my niche as well, by the way. I teach people how to write Disney style music and orchestrate music in a very particular way. So for like, that gives the potential customer a lot clearer of an idea of what I personally offer. And they can choose, like, do I want to follow this guy? Do I want to learn music and or composing orchestration in that particular style, or do I not? If they don't want to follow that, they can go somewhere else, right? Because there are a lot of people doing probably what they want to learn. But the people that I will attract, the people who are interested, will be highly interested because they know that I specialize in that particular field, in that particular niche. So it's a lot more beneficial for you to niche down into an area that you can stand out in compared to other people. Like literally in our music niche in the composing world, in terms of like online influencers, if you will, when people think of Disney composers, um, and Disney arrangements, most people that I've seen usually refer to me first because the bulk of my content around composing and arranging is based on that Disney style and Nintendo style. So usually my name comes up first in those circles. And then if they want to say, oh, how about how to write trailer music or how to write rock and metal music, then they'll refer other people. But at least I've kind of stood out in that particular lane because I specialized in that particular area, which is where my comfort zone is. So, you know, it's always great to try to contribute to everybody, but at the same time, you're going to kind of dilute your brand and your name if you do that. So try to find a niche where you can be as specific as possible. And then if it's way too specific and no one is responding to your content, then you can branch out just a little bit and see, how maybe a little bit more general purposes can help you with your content and grow that audience for you. So niching down is always a good idea. Don't be too general would be the second mistake. All right. The third mistake people make is they panic and they expect results right away. And the thing is that online business, if you want to grow a strong, stable business, it does take time. It's an organic process, especially if you want to not run paid ads. Content naturally does take a long time, usually a couple of years. For me, I really start to see my results after I launched my first course in my second year. But as my income has continued to scale, it's taken me 2-3 years to continue to grow. None of my videos have gone viral. It's just been steady growth that I've committed to week in and week out. And so, yeah, if you expect results in like the first month, let's say, of blogging and videos and stuff, and you expect them to go viral, that's very unrealistic. And then you'll just give up, and then you've never given it a chance to actually expand and grow naturally, right? So patience is really the name of the game here. And personally, as a private teacher for piano students and composing students, I have to be patient by nature. And so I have to apply that same character to my business as well. And it's really, really cool because as soon as you start to get a little bit of taste of success, when you start to make your first few sales, that will just give your heart such a motivational boost because then you'll be like, wow, it's actually possible for me to actually do this. I can sell products and, people don't have to actually use my time to do this. Then that will give you that push to continue moving forward, continue growing your audience, continue delivering value week in and out, and you can trust the process knowing that your results will scale in the long run if you continue to do the right things. So panic and desperation are kind of the worst things, the enemies of your growth and your success, because as soon as you panic, as soon as you feel like things are going wrong, you start to make stupid decisions. It's just inevitable. I do them all the time as well, but I have to sit back and ask myself, like, is this a real problem? Is this something that is really detrimental to my business, or is it something that's just maybe a little hurdle in the long run and I can learn from this? Like it might be a little mistake, so I can learn from it and then trust the process, continue to do the right things, and then watch the results, gradually grow over time. And for me, that philosophy has really helped me build a stable business that I can trust in the future. And I think it's really great for you to take into account as well, if possible. So just to quickly recap those 3 ideas, those 3 mistakes: don't build a product without validating your idea first. Number 1. Number 2, don't be too general. So definitely niche down to kind of stand out in your field. And number 3, don't panic. Trust the process. Allow the system to work for you, and then over time the results will grow. Okay. Hopefully that kind of makes sense. Again, let me know if you have any questions. I'm more than happy to dialogue in the comments below. Again, if you're unaware, the way I set up my online business ever since I basically released my first course and started building my audience was through Kajabi. Previously, I was using ConvertKit, I was using Wix for my website, I was using Podia for my course hosting. But ever since I moved over to Kajabi, I was able to consolidate everything into the one system, which made my life so much easier. And now it allows me to focus on that content creation, and the system in Kajabi basically in the back end does everything for me, which makes my life so much easier. So if you're interested in starting your online business, I can highly recommend the Kajabi platform. If you want to sell those courses and memberships and communities, this would be the perfect platform for you. Tons of videos on the channel covering the functionality. But if you want to give it a start yourself and you want that time to really get everything set up for free, then I would love to give you my extended 30-day free trial by using my link below, christophercu.com/Kajabi. And compared to their 14-day free trial on their website, you get more than double using my link. Now, it is an affiliate link, which just means that if you become a paying member of Kajabi after your free trial, then part of your payment will support me and the channel. There's no obligation, of course, you don't have to use the link, but it's greatly appreciated. And of course, you get that extended trial. In addition to that, I also want to give you my 2 bonus mini courses absolutely free: Kajabi in 30 days, which you receive immediately after signing up for the free trial. And that will walk you through from start to finish how you can set things up on the platform. And number 2 is called Content Marketing for Creatives, which walks you through the exact business model I'm using to put out content for free and then monetize my knowledge in the back end and create that scalable business and income for myself. So again, they're super valuable, but again, you'll get them absolutely free as a thank you when you join Kajabi today using my link. So I really appreciate it. I'll catch you in the next video, and take care. Bye-bye.